Good day, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. My name's Sheepdog74, and let's get into this one then. So yes, I am back on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. It has been almost, I don't know, it's been like over a month and a bit since I last posted. No, it's not because I've given up on YouTube. It's just because I had loads of uni work. These two projects have been very tricky, but now that they are finished and done with, I can now focus on this, and a lot has changed since you last heard from me in my video, or maybe this was the next video in the playlist if you're watching the full playlist. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I have a different car now. I've got a Ford Focus from 2013, so that's pretty cool. I have an internship that I'm going to be doing early next year in January, so that'll be quite cool. And I mean, Constructors Champions McLaren, so that's fun for me. And I've been playing lots of Need for Speed Unbound as well, but we're now going to get back into this game as we are 68% of the way through the total completion, that is, with all the milestones and events, but we're very near the end. We only have 3 more episodes after this one, I think. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So we are very close to the end, and I will make sure to get this series done, like I said, before Christmas. There's going to be 2 episodes today, and then 2 episodes next week, and that should get it done before Christmas. But we're going to be starting today's episode off, at least, with a race in the McLaren F1. By the way, I filmed this like ages ago, yeah, like literally over a month and a bit ago. Basically, when I was about to do the next video, I'd recorded this and then I was going to edit it, and I just didn't really have the time. Like I said, my headset broke, so I have a new one now. It's the Razer Black Shark V2. The thing I've noticed in the editing software is that it is very loud, so I have to turn it down to like 30% volume in editing. I don't know how that will be when I try and do my other series, but anyway, we're getting off track here. We need to get back onto the action as we start this race off in the McLaren F1. I think this is, yeah, it's obviously a hypercar race. We've got 14 miles. I can't remember the name of the race, so we'll see at the end anyway. But we get a good getaway here as we climb all the way up into third. Make that second, nearly getting into first as we get over the hill. Now we are in first, and we are slinging our way around the desert here in kind of dusk conditions. Can't speak after not doing YouTube for a bit. Yeah, we're back down into third as we get overtaken here, but then we get both of them as they go too wide during that corner, and we just drift right on through. And yeah, get the job done as we also fly over the hill and towards the tunnel as well. Yeah, we have quite a comfortable lead already, but we still have 11 miles in this race, so it is far from over as we pass the petrol station or the gas station if you're American. I turn in way too early here and get collided out into the barrier, and that does drop us to third as the Bugatti and the Koenigsegg overtake us. A jet fighter flies by, which is kind of cool. I almost crashed as I was deciding between whether to take the shortcut or not. I didn't in the end, and that has given me a good run here as we go through the tunnel to try and overtake these guys. We're going to have to do it in the corner because, again, all AI are usually way slower in corners than they are in the straights. And that is exactly the same in Need for Speed, because we have overtaken them up into first now, and we have 8 miles left of this event, so a little over halfway. We are overtaken though because we collide into some traffic as we go over the green bridge. Lovely scenery there, it's off to the right, but back to the racing, not looking at the scenery. We are in 4th now into 3rd as we reach our top speed of about 248 miles per hour, but then crash into this Audi, and yeah, I think the car would definitely be written off if this was real life. But unfortunately for us, the Need for Speed game obviously just lets you reset. And yeah, we're going to continue on through anyway up into 3rd as we pass the Koenigsegg CCXR, I believe. I can't remember the name of the cars in these games. Yeah, continuing on, we're going to take the route that everyone else is taking. In hindsight, I probably should have taken the other route to gain more boost, and that is exactly what I'll do as I cross over to the other side of the road, because then I'm getting more oncoming by being in the oncoming lane. And yeah, it all works out in the end though, because we send it on first, get the job done, collided the barrier quite heavily, but this car can take it. And from there, it was pretty much a simple drive to the finish as we speed things along here. The Bugatti did keep me honest, to be fair. It was yeah, a little bit of pressure to make sure that you didn't overtake, but just taking these shortcuts and driving the way we did, we were basically pretty much secured. Though to be fair, I am making quite a few mistakes here. So perhaps that's what helped to keep him in play, but you can see a mile to the finish as we go past this car heading towards the lighthouse and the finish. You can see the smoke to signify that the finish is there, and we cross the line. Faster than light event, that was the name of it. I thought it was, but I couldn't remember. But anyway, gold awarded to us in 4 minutes 48.36. So well done to me, round of applause, as we get a bunch of bounty, which does in fact tip us over to the next level. Just about, actually, that was kind of close. So up to level 14, or for our wanted level anyway. And yeah, we're now at wanted for wanted level. Kind of crazy that we've done this much and now we're only just getting on the wanted list, but something that we all want is a Lamborghini Diablo SV, and it is exactly what we have unlocked here. So yeah, good car to unlock. But the next event is going to be the damage limitation rapid response event for the police. I decided to do the police event now because not only do we have a new car in the form of the Koenigsegg CCXR edition for the police side, but also it's a time trial, so it's kind of like, you know, didn't want to end the video on a police time trial, as we're going to be doing things at sunny conditions at 7 PM with 3 minutes 21 for the distinction time.
Central to all units, officers require assistance on West Beach Freeway.
So to cut down on this video a little bit, I am going to chop through the first attempt, because to say it was miserable was an understatement, as we collided with the wall, then into a red truck which gave us 5 seconds of time penalties, then into a box truck which gave us another 3 seconds, then into another truck which gave us another 3 seconds, and then we continue on through, once again hit a traffic car, another 3 seconds, drift around this corner and hit into another truck, that's another 3 seconds, so up to 17 seconds of penalties already. And to put the cherry on top of the misery cake, we crash once again into a car and fully crash out. So hit the restart button on that attempt, and we went on to this attempt, which went much better because I was much more cautious throughout this event. But yeah, we have 10 miles of this track to go through. Obviously it's a lot quicker to do those 10 miles because we're on the highway compared to other circuits where there is more corners in them. And you can see I'm being very careful to make sure that I don't hit traffic and I don't hit the wall, going pretty slowly through some of these corners to make sure that I can avoid these guys, really hitting on the brakes in some of these to make sure that I don't collide into any of these box trucks or anything. Nearly collided the wall there trying to avoid the traffic actually, but now we can really start to speed up a little bit. Have to be cautious again though through the tunnel here. You see I can slow right down, just about squeeze through the gap, nearly hit the wall, but once again we're pretty much okay, just sticking to the oncoming lane though, not really getting any boost from it, which is kind of weird, but there you go. And then switch back to the other side of the road and continue on through the loop-de-loop section, horizontal loop-de-loop that is, I guess. Vertical one would be kind of weird for Need for Speed, but I'm not opposed to it. As we continue on through the highway, continue to go round and onto the bridge soon, where we will cross over from where we were just down below. As we continue on through, we've got 5 miles left, so about halfway, and we're about halfway on our time, maybe a little bit extra, because of course all of this now is pretty much just top speed flat out. Don't have to brake for any corners really, though we do clip the box truck there and get ourselves a 3-second time penalty. But apart from that, it's pretty much just smooth sailing towards the finish. Just reaching our max speed almost about now. About 250, 254 is our max speed actually as we hit the rev limiter. And 2.7 miles, but those miles are flying very quickly because we are at, you know, the max speed, and we just have to dodge in and out of traffic, barely dropping any speed as we fly through these corners flat out. And yeah, just doing a good job of this time trial. We've got a mile left. It's flown by that that last mile and a bit, as we continue to go on through the construction ring road that is still being built to this day after 14 years or whatever. But yeah, we cross the line now anyway, and we beat the Audi. Damage limitation done in 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and more importantly, distinction awarded to us. So we did a very good job in the end by just being cautious. Yeah, well done to us. No new car for ages for the police, by the way. I doubt we would even get a new car before the end of this series for the police. But anyway, Wild Ride Time Trial is the next event up. And it's using the Koenigsegg CCXR edition, which we just used. But there you go, can't pick and choose the car. 5 AM is when we're starting this event with 8.7 miles for the track length, with sunny conditions. And like with the other event, I also didn't do this one first time, so we shall shortly skip on through this tab to show you some of the good parts of it, because there were some good parts, to be fair. Sliding through in between these two cars was pretty good, just a slight tap on the exit. Drifting around this corner, we took this one quite nicely, as we also very narrowly avoid this car here. That was incredibly close. But skipping on through, this is where we lost a bunch of time, is crashing straight into this Toyota truck, which I couldn't really do much about, to be honest. But was it Toyota? That was actually a Nissan truck, I think. I kind of botched up this this S section though, which really damaged our time quite a bit. And then we slammed into the wall here as we crossed this white bridge. And then, yeah, you can see as we drift around the corner, we were close. As we slow down the timer, we were very close, but couldn't quite cross the finish in time. So we had to go for a restart. And here is the attempt, which actually works out for me. So we start off this event again at the start with very overcast conditions. We slide around this car, do it pretty well, getting very close to the barriers, but this car, it handles pretty nicely for the hypercars. Some of the hypercars can feel quite heavy, This one is pretty good for my driving style. I like cars which can slide and have a bit more oversteer than understeer, and this car is certainly it because it can do some drifting. It likes to drift and then continue drifting even after the corner, as you can see there. It's quite a tricky car sometimes, but it's also quite rewarding and quite good for my driving style, as I say. But we have to go quite wide there, as it was kind of tight to get through that gap, so we don't go through it, we go around it. And then we take this shortcut once again because you do save quite a bit of time. Even though I tap the exit or the entry there, we are pretty clean on the exit instead, and so we'll gain a good amount of time there as we go onto this road. Avoid the trucks once again. This time they're not gonna be having head-on collisions with me as we continue up towards the more sunnier side of this event. And the S section, and we get this perfectly. Look at this, very close to the barrier there. Tap it on the exit of the S's and then through this corner. Once again, very nice and tight to the inside. Drifting once again, like I say, this car does like to drift. You have to kind of stop it from drifting a little bit to get the power back on and get it away. But like I said, I kind of like it. It's quite a fun car to use as well. With this drifting characteristic, but there won't be much drifting into this event for now because it is pretty much just straight roads. Once again, a few kinks and turns, but most of them are flat out up towards the finish lines. We have 1.5 miles to go until that finish line. We go over this blind hill, get a little bit of a jump, and have to dabble on the brakes a little bit, but don't lose too much speed. We lose more during this corner as we try to slingshot our way across the white bridge once again, and then it is just the final corner as we drift it around here, doing pretty good job as well. It's a near perfect run to the finish line, and we beat that time by a good 8 or 9 seconds, so we did very well in the end. To get the gold. It was pretty much a near perfect run, like I say, but a few imperfections which I would change if I were to do this one again. But overall, we did a very good job, as the last event for today's episode is the Calm Before the Storm Hot Pursuit event. This is one that I like to do a lot when I used to play this game back in the day. So we're going to be using the Koenigsegg Agera. That is the car of choice, and we're going to be doing things at sunny and thundery conditions at 7 PM with 5 spike strips, 5 jammers, 3 turbos and 5 EMPs. So yes, here we go, the Calm Before the Storm event, and as you can hear, there was some thunder coming along at the start of this event, but or some thunder, that's the sound that the lightning makes. As we're going to continue on through the start of this event, but there's a massive collision ahead, and we just about squeeze through. The waves parted like Moses for us as we just about get through there, so that was quite a tricky one. But we won't see cops for ages in this event, because as the event implies, should I say, it is a calm, which is this point, and then you'll have the storm, which is when all of the cops will start coming after us, which is a good 2 or so miles away from the start of this event. So you get a lot of time here as we drop down to second there, but you get a lot of time to just race and prepare and have all of your equipment ready. And as we drift around this corner, I do just about get in front, and we're into first already. And like I said, a minute into this event, and there's no sign of cops at all as we are drifting through the desert or the canyons. Is this a desert? I guess kind of. It's more like a red desert mesa canyon thingy. Anyway, we continue on through, and we're going to activate our turbo, and as we activate the turbo, you can see on the left here, as we pass the petrol station, there are some cops waiting for us, and we're just going to breeze past them, to be fair, as we're going to take a lovely line through here with the turbo, perfect turbo actually, really, and yeah, we're going to continue on ahead, almost 2 minutes into this session, and the cops are only now just about to start catching up to us and causing us some strife as we head into the tunnel. And roadblock's been called ahead, so we have to be careful here as we chuck out some spikes just behind. They do hit one of the police targets, so that is good for us, but there are 4 Koenigsegg CCXs chasing us, so we have to do a lot more to try and get them off our tail. As I tried to chuck some spikes just behind to help me here, ended up hitting one of our rivals in this race as he gets absolutely obliterated in the CCXR there, but we're going to continue on as we are going to take out one of the cops at least, so that's one less CCX to worry about, but yeah, we still have quite a ways to go here as we're in third, but hopefully this turbo will somewhat help us as we have to apply the handbrake here. We're kind of all over the place and there's a roadblock, so I have to get through that. We do actually get through it quite nicely though, to be fair, but then it's now about trying to chase after the Bugatti which is in front of us. We take the shortcut, take it a bit too quickly though, and so we don't have the best line as we head through, and then he crashes into an Audi and all kind of chaos happens behind us, and that does promote us into first, at least for the time being, as the McLaren F1 is looking to try and overtake us. The CCX crashes into a civilian car, and so yeah, we've actually got a decent lead at the moment, though this roadblock screws it all up for us because I try and take the impact out of us colliding with the roadblock by putting on the handbrake, and then that ends up just slowing us right down. This CCX goes straight into his own spike strip. We missed the EMP, but he crashed into a civilian car, so we wreck him in the end. But now we are dropped into fourth, and we have 6 miles left in this event, so there is a good amount of time, to be fair, to catch up. But we're not doing the best job to catch up either, as we keep colliding into things. And yeah, but we do catch up to this guy as he gets taken out by this police car. But the others are a fair amount ahead. We're 2.13 seconds behind second, as it says. And we have a roadblock here, which is going to once again slow our progress as we're not quite able to navigate through it properly. And yeah, anyway, we check out the EMP though as we head towards the final stretch of this event. We do get the EMP wreck on the CCX there, and now that only leaves 1 or 2 left for us as we now deploy a turbo. I thought this was a smart move. It was in fact not, as there was a spike strip waiting for me from a helicopter. And you can see that I actually tried to jam it, but I wasn't quick enough to jam it in time before I realised that I was going to be going straight into it. So yeah, bit of a waste of a jammer and definitely a waste of a turbo. We could have definitely used that in this very long segment, as this is basically it. This is just the long highway that we have left. We're in fourth and we have 3 miles of this event to go. Now we do overtake 2 of these cars quite quickly, but the guy in first is very far ahead, and I know we have some catch up here, but we have a big effort to try and catch up to him. Yeah, we only have 1.4 miles left, and he is very much so far ahead. Colliding into this car won't help us as we continue to head through. We got 1 mile to the finish. The finish is just around these 2 corners here. But we have put a shift in as we deploy a jammer to make sure that nothing is going to slow us down here. And you can see on the right side, there he is. We're going to overtake him because there's a roadblock, but there's a gap for us to go through, and we get through. He crashes, and that is us into first on the line pretty much. 5 minutes 56. We did this event in with the gold awarded to us. What a good way to end the episode off, as we get another new reward as well. because we finished them first. We got 15,000 bounty. We got loads of bounty for driving skills. We got a lot for the cost of the state and our evasion and the best personal best that we had. So we're going to get 2 new cars. The first car is the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 for the Ibis series. That is pretty cool that we unlocked the car for the racer side. And then the other car that we're going to be getting is the Ford Shelby GT500 for the Performance Series. So once again, another good car to add to the collection. It's probably one of my more used cars in my other save on Steam downstairs on the PC anyway. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you did enjoy this episode. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. Comment if you enjoyed below. Subscribe if you enjoy all of my content. Give me some constructive criticism as well. I have plenty of video ideas in mind that I'll be doing throughout the holiday weeks. And of course, we have a new game that I'm going to be getting for Christmas, which I will start doing once we finish this series. So check that one out as well. But yeah, until then, it's been Chief Dog 74, and I'll see you guys in the next one.